Yeah. So nowadays we have many opportunities in Azure data engineering field, and we have, I mean, even US and UK and India, we have many opportunities and all over the world in the data engineering field, especially in Azure cloud, almost 73% currently market share. And if you are working on a different background, maybe you're working on a Java, .NET, or any field, and currently many businesses they're currently stopped that their development, and they're moving their businesses to cloud. Okay, and we have lot of opportunities in data engineering field. And this course is completely about Azure Cloud, Microsoft Azure Cloud Data Engineering course. And I'm going to teach you Azure Data Factory, Databricks, data flows, SQL databases, storage accounts, and some experience working on Synapse as well. So I would like to share those experience as well. And most of this course is completely in a real-time based training. Okay, so I'm going to take real-time scenarios and I'm going to teach over this course. Okay, so before going to start cloud, Microsoft Azure cloud, and what is cloud service pro what are all the cloud service providers we have in the current market, and what are all different roles we have in current market, we'll discuss more on that. Okay, so we have majorly, you heard these names. Okay, you heard these names majorly on three different cloud service providers. We have many. Okay, CSPs, cloud service providers. Okay, so when it comes to cloud service providers, we have AWS, Azure, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, right? So you can see many opportunities on this cloud service providers, but you can see in market trends, and most of currently trending is Microsoft Azure. Even in Azure, you can also observe the trends in India or US, anywhere. So Microsoft Azure is most of the businesses there move to Microsoft Azure, and even the new projects are currently moving to Microsoft Azure. Okay, so you can also heard like Oracle Cloud, IBM Cloud, right? So you can heard like Alibaba. There are many cloud service providers, guys. Okay, but most frequently used currently is AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. Okay, so we are going to focus on Microsoft Azure. Okay, so you can heard like multiple roles in current market, right? So what role you need to apply, right? Majorly on Azure data engineer. You can see Azure data engineer or data engineer. You can also observe this data engineer, and they started the roles and responsibilities. You can clearly observe on Microsoft Azure services. And maybe you can also see the cloud engineer. Okay, cloud engineer. And you can see lead data engineer. So if you are maybe and have 10 years of experience, they'll also look into that lead data engineer, senior data engineer, right? So there are many roles. And in Azure, especially, this is a completely data engineering course. Okay, so you can see these are all the different openings. Okay, so you can see maybe an Naukri or Dice or LinkedIn, right? So wherever you want to see this, I mean, the naming conventions, how you need to check the position, right? You need to see these kinds of names: Azure data engineer, cloud engineer, right? Cloud data engineer. I mean to say that cloud data engineer, okay, and lead data engineer, right? So you can see naming conventions are like this, and you can try to apply for these positions. Okay, apart from that, in Microsoft Azure, so you heard like Azure DevOps, Azure Architect, Azure Data Engineer, Azure Admin, right? So like this we have a different positions, guys, but this course is all about the Azure Data Engineering. I just want to give the complete clarity on that so that you can have the idea, right? So before going to apply any positions, so we have an integration engineer, we have a DevOps engineer, we have admin, we have architect, we have a business analyst. Like this, we have a different roles we have, but you need to apply data engineer kind of positions. Okay, data engineer kind of positions in the sense you can see the naming conventions with respect to our, I mean, you have after this course, you have some experience, right? I'm going to share you the complete real-time based experience, including the project and everything, what you need to explain, right? After joining the any organization. End to end, I'll also share you that document, okay, what you need to explain about the current project. Okay, apart from the real-time use cases, I'm going to replicate what we generally need to face in a real time, right? Those kinds of scenarios I'm going to teach you guys, so that that would be very helpful for you going forward when you try to work in a real time. Okay, so even when you start working in a real time, if you face any issues, you can also let me know, guys, if you need any help. So I'll also be there and help you guys. Okay. So basically, before going to start a cloud, I'm going to explain about some fundamentals, right? So everybody should aware this fundamentals. Then you know that why we need to move to the cloud, right? So basically, guys, Microsoft Azure Cloud, we have a cloud computing. Okay. So what is a cloud computing? You can try to connect your desktop. For example, generally you have some laptop and you have maybe you're working in Infosys or L&T, you have some desktop and you need to connect to your desktop, right? If you're trying to connect to your desktop, maybe outside of organization, like you want to go for home and you want to connect to desktop, is that possible? No, right? So you have to be, if you are in a cloud, right? If you can go for cloud, Microsoft Azure or AWS, you can try to connect from anywhere. You are in a US, right? Maybe you are in a different location, right? Yeah, I'll share you the recording session as well, guys. Okay, no worries. So maybe you are in a different location. Maybe you are in a US or UK, wherever you are, you can try to connect anywhere. Okay, what I mean, you want to connect to desktop, you want to connect to your application, your project, right? You can try to connect anywhere using the cloud. Using a mobile, you can try to connect. Using a laptop, you can try to connect. Using a printer, your desktops, right? With internet connection, you can try to connect from anywhere, guys. Okay, cloud in the sense you can try to connect from anywhere. That is the reason many businesses, they are hosting their applications in cloud, guys. Okay, whether it is a Microsoft Azure, whether it is an AWS, Amazon AWS, whether it is a Google Cloud, they try to host their applications, their business completely move to cloud, so that they can try to access from, I mean, even nowadays everybody is doing the work from home, right? So we can try to connect from anywhere. Maybe you want to connect from US, maybe you want to connect from India, you want to connect maybe UK or Germany, right? Anywhere you can try to connect if your application is hosted on a cloud, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. That is what a cloud computing means. Okay, so we can try to connect from anywhere. Okay, with internet connection. Okay, so I want to give an example here, guys. His name is John and his intention is to create a some website. Okay, so we have many websites, right? We have as Facebook, we have Instagram, like this we have social media websites, right? And you can try to connect to websites and you can try to upload a photos, and maybe you can try to chat with somebody in Facebook, right? So we have a lot of social media websites network right now, and John intention is also create another social media website. Okay, so you can see YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, right? There are many social media websites, and John intention is to create a new social media website. Okay, so John start thinking about infrastructure. Okay, so he start thinking about a servers, a storage, infrastructure team, security. Okay, so for any application, guys, right? So even if you want to create any application, like small application, like IRCTC or Redbus, like we have some websites, right? You heard these names, right? So any small websites, if you want to create, you need some infrastructure, you need storage, you need some memory, right? You need some infrastructure team to maintain, you need some security, right? So even if you have your laptop, right? If you want to run any application, like you want to open maybe Microsoft Azure, or if you are open simple notepad, simple Notepad plus plus, simple any VLC player, right? Any Windows application background, there is some infrastructure, right? There is some motherboard and storage, right? And you can also see like apart from storage, you can see RAM, right? So based on your laptop configuration, you can try to see the speed and everything, right? That is the underlying infrastructure. If you can take a big applications like your banking application, your ICICI bank has some websites and your HDFC bank has some websites, right? If they want to see that all their applications and the different modules, right? They have internal architecture and internal infrastructure, right? The background, there is a lot of infrastructure, and they're also hosted their applications in the cloud, right? And we need some infrastructure to maintain our application. That's what my intention here. So you can try to understand, guys, if you are trying to create any application, you need some infrastructure, right? So for example, you want to start a small application, right? If you want to start a small application, maybe you want to create a Java web-based application or .NET web-based application, you need some infrastructure, underlying infrastructure, right? So that's where Jan start thinking about, if I need to develop any social media website, I need some infrastructure, right? I need a number servers, storage, infrastructure team, security, and everything, right? So you can take it a small example, guys, real-time use case, right? So maybe you want to start a small business, right? Maybe a restaurant business, right? So initially what you need some infrastructure. You need a staff, you need chairs, tables, and all kitchen utilities, and you need a billing mission and a separate person to maintain that, right? So so you need some infrastructure, right? So to purchase this everything, there is a lot of capital expenditure. You need to invest initially lot of amount, right? So that's the reason John start thinking about all the infrastructure. For him to create a social media website, he needs all this server, storage, infrastructure team, and security, right? So if you can go to any I'll give an example, guys, here. So I'll show you the data centers. Okay. So I'll tell you what is a data center. So you can see data center is nothing but it's a physical room, guys. Okay. So it has a different racks, and it has a different servers and the network cables, right? Everything you can check it here. Okay. It has a separate building. Okay. Separate building and IT infrastructure team to maintain all these servers, storage, and the network cable and everything. And to host your application, we need this network. Okay, we need this data centers. So I'll show you some examples. Okay, so you can see here how big the data centers are. Even in any organization, they have their own data centers, right? Infosys and Wipro or L&T, they also maintain their own infrastructures. Okay, so sometimes what will happen, guys, if you are maybe you just started a company, right? A new company, so you have to invest lot of things on infrastructure side. If you want to create any application, you need some underlying infrastructure like storage, memory, right? Infrastructure team, right? So everything you have to be maintained, and there is lot of amount you have to invest on that, right? So what cloud service provider is offering, guys, they will provide you the infrastructure for you. Okay, they will provide you the infrastructure, whatever the storage, memory we are talking about, right? The cloud service providers, they'll provide the complete infrastructure, and you can try to host your applications, you can try to create your applications, you can try to manage your applications. Okay, so that's what the beauty of cloud service providers, guys. Whether it is an AWS, whether it is an Azure, whether it is a Google Cloud, will work in a same manner. Okay, and we'll see what are all the services they're offering and how many services Microsoft Azure is offering, how many categories we have, right? So when it comes to mobile edition, when it comes to web-based application, when it comes to data engineering, when it comes to analytics, when it comes to AI, when it comes to machine learning, right? So almost Microsoft Azure, they are offering 22 plus categories and 200 plus services they're offering, guys. I'll try to explain all these services at a high level and what are all the services as a data engineer you should aware. Also, I'll try to give the complete picture on that, guys. I'll show you the portal and I'll give the complete explanation on that. Okay. Now, at this point of time, we are trying to understand the fundamentals, right? And why we are going to cloud, right? And what is the necessity to move to the cloud, right? So I just want to show you here, these are all the data centers to maintain infrastructure. So it's a very hectic task to maintain the infrastructure for any application, guys. We have a big applications, right? We have banking, we have enterprise based applications. They're very big applications. Lot of infrastructure is required and you have to invest a lot of amount on that as well, right? So that is the reason many businesses, they are moving to Microsoft Azure cloud. Okay, Microsoft Azure cloud or AWS cloud or Google cloud. Okay, so now if you can go here, John start thinking about all the infrastructure, and he understood that there is some challenges with respect to, you can see, high setup cost to launch all this infrastructure, right? And finally, what he understood, if, for example, guys, what will happen, we need to think about a lot of things here, right? So you start a restaurant business, right? And maybe due to mouth talk and people are spreading across and the food is good and breakfast is good, lunch is good, dinner is good, and due to mouth talk and so many people started coming to your restaurant, right? If your business grows, right, if your business grows, you have to be increase the resources as well, right? Maybe whatever you have some sufficient space right now, right? Initial stages you have some sufficient space, but once business grows, you have to be, more number of people will come to your restaurant due to the good food, right? So you have to be spread, I mean, you have to be increase your resources. I mean to say that maybe you have to purchase another building and you have to be purchase again infrastructure, again staff, right? Maybe you want to start a new branch in a different location, right? So that is you have to be invest more. If your business is success, you can try to increase, right? You'll get a more profit, right? If your business is failed, right, we have to think in a two different perspectives here, right? Whether it is a failed state and success state, right? So we discussed about a success state. If it is failed, right, whatever the investment you have kept in this infrastructure like storage, memory, I mean for your restaurant business also you have invested a lot of amount, right? So you lost that, right? Entire infrastructure, whatever the amount you have invested, you lost that, and finally you see the a lot of loss, right? That is the reason, if I start a small company, right, if I start a new company and I need an infrastructure initially, that is the reason I can talk to cloud service provider and Microsoft maybe, or AWS or Google Cloud. For example, I'll reach out to Microsoft Azure Cloud and I want to host my application in your cloud service provider. Please give me that price details, right? Maybe they'll also provide some discounts to you. Maybe if you can take it as a 1 year, you want to host application, 3 years, right? Based on that time period, they'll provide some discounts to you. And you know one thing, remember this point always, guys. Any cloud service provider, not only Microsoft Azure, they will charge whatever you have utilized. Whatever you have utilized. For example, I have some data in my on-premises SQL database. I want to move this data to the cloud. For example, to move 100 GB of data to the cloud, it took 8 minutes of time, and Microsoft, they will charge only for that 8 minutes, and whatever the time and whatever the compute infrastructure you have utilized during that 8 minutes of time, they will charge only for that particular period of time. That is the beauty of Microsoft Azure, guys. That is the beauty of Microsoft Azure, right? Just remember always, okay? So John start thinking about, if my business is success, if my businesses fail, right? He start thinking about both the scenarios, guys, right? There is a high setup cost to launch all this infrastructure. And John reached out to Angela. Her name is Angela. She is an IT specialist with a huge experience in implementing new products and understand the product implementation life cycle and its challenges. Okay. She suggested to John, go for cloud. Okay, go for cloud so that you can save lot of money. You can save lot of money. You no need to spend lot of money on your infrastructure for your social media website. Instead, cloud service provider will provide you the complete infrastructure with less cost. Okay, with less cost, and whatever you have utilized, only cloud service provider will charge from you. Okay, and finally you can see she start explaining about in on-premises and cloud. Okay, if we can invest amount on the infrastructure at initial stages, there is lot of higher upfront cost of whole setup, whole infrastructure. When you go to cloud, it's a pay as you go model. There is no upfront cost. Okay, there is no upfront cost. We call it as a capital expenditure. Okay, and there is no automatic updates with respect to on-premises. Everything you have to take in care, right? For example, guys, you can see some updates in your laptop, software updates, right? You have to take in care those updates, right? Even in on-premises, you have to take in care all the updates. Your IT infrastructure team can be able to take in care. Maybe you are working on Infosys, they have their own infrastructure, they have their own IT team to maintain this infrastructure, and they will take care that all the updates, guys. Okay, when it comes to Azure cloud, we have automatic software updates. Okay, we have automatic software updates. You no need to worry about updating any software. Cloud service provider would be able to take care everything for you, guys. Okay, they have their own data centers. So they are very big data centers all over the world. Microsoft have the data centers all over the world, even in water also. Even in sea, there are a lot of data centers are there, guys. Okay, to maintain all I mean because they are huge data centers, right? To maintain all this underlying there are some cool nature is there. Okay, and underlying water, and there is a lot of heat some produce, and everything is taken care Microsoft, and that's the reason they have used these data centers in seas as well. Okay, and lack of flexibility to upgrade, right? So for example, you're working on Oracle 10 or Java 7, for example, you want to upgrade to Java 8, right? There is lack of flexibility. You need to test a lot of things. If you're trying to upgrade something Java 8, you need to test our application accordingly, right? When you go to cloud, guys, even there is a high flexibility. Within a few minutes you can try to create a service in for example, I want to install Oracle 11 or okay, or any other higher versions I want to upgrade, right? So there is a high flexibility to upgrade within a few clicks in Microsoft Azure cloud, guys. Okay, when it comes to on-premises, we can try to appoint dedicated staff for data center maintenance, right? So when you see in Infosys or Wipro or L&T, they have their own infrastructure. They have their own IT infrastructure team to maintain, right? So there is they in companies on premises, they used to maintain their infrastructure. They have a separate team. There are dedicated staff to maintain the infrastructure. But when it comes to cloud service provider would be able to take care. You no need to worry about that. Okay. There is no staff required to maintain the data center, since cloud service provider will maintain the data centers. Okay. Data cannot be accessed from remote. Okay. Data cannot be accessed from remote in on-premises, but in a cloud, if you have an internet connection, you can try to connect from mobile also, guys. If you have an internet connection, you can try to connect from mobile, desktop or laptop, whatever the device you have, you can try to connect to cloud. That's the beauty of Microsoft Azure cloud or any other cloud service provider. Okay. Finally, after Angela explained the difference between on-premises data center and cloud, John is so happy, you can see, and he go for cloud now. Okay. And he started exploring on this cloud. Okay. He started exploring on the cloud. What are all the cloud computing, and what are all the types of deployment models, like the types of cloud computing, cloud services, what exactly Microsoft Azure is offering, right? So basically, cloud computing types of, we have a public cloud, guys, we have a private cloud, we have a hybrid cloud. Okay, so what are all the public cloud? What are all the cloud service providers are comes under public cloud? AWS cloud, Google cloud, Azure cloud,
ఏమో డెమో క్లాస్ అంట
Oracle, any cloud service provider will come into.
అవుతుంది.
Guys, can you go on mute, please? Any cloud service provider, guys, like all these are public cloud. Okay, when it comes to private cloud, companies on premises, I just mentioned that companies on premises, right? They have their own cloud. Okay, that is private cloud. They have full control on that. Okay, they have the full control on that. Hybrid cloud, in the sense, it's a combination of public cloud and private cloud. For example, when I can go for public hybrid cloud, guys, so I want to take few services from the public cloud, few services from the private cloud. Okay, maybe whatever my Microsoft Azure offering some security standards, I don't want to agree. Whatever the security mechanisms they're offering, so I want to go for some third party services, third party security services, right? Because my data is very sensitive. Okay, I have lot of personal data. I don't want to believe Microsoft Cloud, what their security standards and all. I want to go for my own security standards. What is the security standards? I'll go for going forward. You can try to understand when I try to connect to on-premises mission. Practically, I'll show you guys so that you can have the complete picture on that. Okay. When it comes to cloud services, so there is an infrastructure as a service, PaaS. We have a platform as a service, we have a software as a service. Okay, so when it comes to IaaS, infrastructure as a service, infrastructure as a service. So as I mentioned, we have almost 200 plus services Microsoft Azure they're offering, right? I'll show you practically. When it comes to infrastructure, all the virtual networks, right? Virtual networks or virtual missions, right? SQL Server hosted on VM, SQL Server VM, okay? And network, input output, right? Input output, all the network and everything is comes under infrastructure as a service, guys. Okay, for example, I'll give an example here. Okay, you want to purchase a flat. Okay, you can go to any builder. Maybe you want to purchase 2 BHK or 3 BHK or separate individual house, right? So what builder can provide you, guys? They will just give it to you a 2 BHK flat, right? Or whatever the flat you want to purchase, they'll give it to you empty flat, right? Maybe they'll partition a hall or kitchen or bedrooms or restrooms, right? So everything they'll provide you, right? But maybe you need washing machine, you need TV, you need fans, you need some AC. They cannot provide you all this, right? Infrastructure as a service, in the sense, it's an empty flat. It's an empty flat. Okay. When it comes to PaaS, platform as a service. Okay. So PaaS, ADF. Okay. So we have ADF, we have Databricks, we have Azure SQL database, we have storage accounts, right? We have app services, right? So everything and so on, everything is comes under PaaS services. Okay, platform as a service. Okay, so platform as a service, in the sense, when you go to studio room, okay, or fully furnished flat, maybe you want to purchase a fully furnished flat. What owner can provide you, guys? Whatever the items already there, maybe TV, maybe Sony TV, and kitchen, all gas and everything they're providing, and all the beds and the AC, washing machine, everything they provided, right? But if you want to maybe you want to cook something, right? You have to go to supermarket and you have to purchase all the groceries, and you need to come to room and you have to be cook yourself, right? They cannot provide you all these things, right? So that is what PaaS services. Okay. So I'll give one more example as well. Pizza example, I'll give it. Okay, I'll give you. So we also have a SaaS, okay, software as a service. So any cloud service provider, they're offering all these three services, guys. Okay. So software as a service, guys, when you go to any 5-star hotel or 7-star hotel, what you can directly go to your room and you can try to order the food. Okay, you can just order the food and they will send it to your room, right? You cannot cook yourself and they'll just send it to your room. You have to be serve yourself and you have to be eat, right? So we are not doing anything in software as a service. Okay, I'll also give an example like we have an Outlook. We have an Outlook, Office 365, and we also have a Power BI. Also, like so, also Power BI also comes under SaaS. You just need to install and use it, right? Outlook also you just need to install and use it, right? So these are all the some of the services they're offering. Any cloud service providers, they're offering these three services: IaaS, infrastructure as a service, PaaS, platform as a service, SaaS, software as a service. Okay. So let's go to, yeah. So you can see, guys, I'll give one more example on the same services, new pizza as a service. For example, this is a traditional on-premises deployment. Okay. So if you want to prepare the pizza, you need, what are all the things you need, guys? You need a kitchen, right? You need a gas, you need oven, right? You need pizza dough, you need toppings, and we can try to finally cook the pizza. Everything you have to be taken care, right? Everything in traditional on-premises, everything you have to be taken care. When it comes to cloud, guys, cloud service provider will offer kitchen, gas, oven. Okay, when it comes to infrastructure as a service, they will offer kitchen, gas, oven, and you need to take care pizza dough, toppings, and you can try to cook the pizza. Okay, so this is taken care by your vendor. Okay, this is taken care by you. Okay, in blue color, whatever you can see that you can taken care, and green color they will taken care. Okay, so I mean to say that Microsoft can taken care few things and you can taken care few things at a high level. Okay, in a platform as a service, kitchen, gas, oven, underlying pizza dough, everything you have to be taken care. I mean, Microsoft, they'll taken care, and only toppings, and you can try to cook the pizza. Okay, so what are all the toppings you want to add to your pizza? You can try to add and you can customize basically, right? So you can try to cook the pizza. Okay, that is what platform as a service, guys. Okay, so this is kitchen, gas, oven, pizza dough, everything vendor can provide you. You can see vendor can manage. When it comes to blue color toppings and cook the pizza, when you try to customize, right? When you try to customize, you have to take care with respect to platform as a service. So currently, many businesses, they're moving their business completely to cloud service providers, guys. Okay, they don't want to maintain their infrastructure. Okay, there is a lot of cost is involved to maintain this infrastructure. That is the reason many organizations they are moving to cloud. Okay, when it comes to software as a service, guys, you don't need to worry about all this kitchen, gas, oven, pizza dough. You just need to order the maybe through Swiggy or Zomato, right? You can try to just order the food and you can try to have it, right? So that is what a software as a service. Already I gave an example like Power BI, Outlook. You just need to install the services and use it, right? Nothing we are doing here. Just need to install Outlook. You can use it, right? That is what is software as a service, guys. So in terms of technical terms, right? In terms of technical, you can see any application, you need network, right? You need some network. If you are trying to host your application, you need some network, storage, servers. Okay. So there is a lot of servers, okay? Windows servers, whatever the servers you want to use, you can use it. Virtualization, like VMs, right? Virtualization means VMs and operating systems, okay? And middleware in the sense you can try to have like Apache web servers or application servers. I mean to say that JBoss web application servers, right? So you can see some servers where you can try to under the middleware. Okay, we can try to add those in the middleware. And runtime, right? Runtime in the sense you can hold like a Docker, Kubernetes, right? You can try to host your infrastructure even using a Docker and Kubernetes, and they are container based application. And the data application, everything you have to take in care. Okay, actual data and application, everything you have to take in care with respect to on premises. When it comes to infrastructure as a service, guys, virtualization, servers, storage, networking, everything is taken care by Microsoft. And you need to take in care your application data, your runtime, maybe Docker, Kubernetes, wherever you want to host your application, middleware, servers, right? And operating systems. Okay, so everything is taken care by you, and Microsoft is managed all these four. Okay, when it comes to platform as a service, here you need to take in care only your application and data, remaining all is taken care by Microsoft. Okay, remaining all taken care by Microsoft. We have networking, storage, servers, virtualization, operating system, middleware, runtime, everything is taken care by Microsoft. Okay, when it comes to software as a service, everything is taken care by Microsoft. You no need to worry about anything. For example, if you want to use a Power BI, you just need to install and utilize it based on your requirement, right? And even Outlook, just need to install and use it, right? So nothing we are doing with respect to software as a service, right? So you can see, guys, many businesses, they are based on their requirement, they can use this services. Okay. So you can see these are all the cloud service providers we have in current market: Microsoft Azure, cloud service provider, and AWS, IBM Cloud, Google Cloud. All these are different cloud service providers we have in current market. Most frequently used Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud. Okay. So what is Azure, guys? Okay, what is Azure, right? So Microsoft Azure is a cloud computing service created by Microsoft where users can create a server, storage, a database using an online portal, portal.azure.com. Okay, and Microsoft will maintain the data centers and physical infrastructure, whole infrastructure. Okay, so you can see here, guys, John is so happy and he can try to create all the resources, whatever he want to create a social media website. He started using Microsoft Azure Cloud, and whatever the storage systems, whatever the server, whatever the memory database, and everything he's going to create using the portal, Azure Web Portal. I'll show you how you can try to create this Azure Web Portal. Okay. So he can start creating the servers, virtual machines, database servers, right? Whatever he want, he can try to create through Microsoft Azure Cloud Portal. Okay. So once they created, I just want to give some advantages of Microsoft Azure, guys. Okay. So what are the benefits of Microsoft Azure? You can reduce the cost of infrastructure, guys. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say since beginning, right? You can save a lot of cost if you can try to host your application in Microsoft Azure, guys. Okay. And the cost of maintaining a local server includes installation, updating, maintaining a dedicated IT staff, right? Generally, if you are not going to a cloud, you have to maintain your infrastructure, complete infrastructure. You have to maintain local server, includes the installation and everything, all upgrading, patching, right? Everything you have to be taken care, guys, right? And having the climate control room to maintain this data centers and infrastructure. It is long running, it is very expensive, guys. Okay, long running, it is very expensive to maintain the whole infrastructure. Microsoft Azure basically eliminates the need for physical server and its expenses, right? That's what I'm trying to say since the beginning. So Microsoft is completely eliminate all this, eliminates the physical infrastructure, physical servers. Okay, so they used to taken care everything for us. Okay, so you can scale the resources with Microsoft Azure, guys. You can pay only what you need, right? As I gave an example, if you are trying to move 100 GB of data from your on-premises SQL database to cloud, it took 8 minutes of time, for example, and Microsoft can charge only for that 8 minutes. And whatever the compute infrastructure you have utilized to move this 100 GB of data to the cloud, they can charge only for that. Okay. Ease of accessibility, right? So, and one more thing, guys, sometimes what will happen, you can see Amazon or Flipkart, they have some offers like Big Billion Day, Thanksgiving days, right? Black Fridays, right? They have some offers during that time. Customers, and I mean, they start searching their whatever the products they need, right? The more number of people can suddenly increase, right? So when there is any suddenly business grows, number of servers also, I mean, scale the, so we can try to scale up the servers automatically, that Microsoft can be able to take in care. When business grows, suddenly increase. When business goes down, it will automatically server infrastructure and everything is goes down. If business is increase, it will automatically increase the whole infrastructure, guys. Okay. So that is what the beauty of Microsoft Azure. When there is a huge business, maybe during the Thanksgiving day, we have a many offers, right? So number of users start connecting to Amazon app or Amazon application, right? So they'll try to purchase some items, right? So when there is any huge demand, and it will automatically scalable. When there is a less demand, it will automatically decrease the number of servers. That is the beauty of cloud service provider. Okay. So when it comes to accessibility, guys, Azure Cloud basically access of your data at any location, guys. As I mentioned, maybe you are staying in US or you're staying in UK, and if you're trying to access the data, if your application is hosted, maybe your storage account, your database, or whatever is hosted on a cloud, you can try to access from anywhere, guys. That is the beauty of cloud. Okay. So when it comes to security, Microsoft Azure Data Center, I just showed you, right? Data center are some of the most secure, and they keep your data protected from natural disasters. Okay. So what Microsoft will do, guys, for example, recently there is a huge loss in Ukraine because Microsoft data centers also hosted in Ukraine. And we lost that all the data center. With respect to security, guys, even if you lost the data would be replicated across a different countries and different regions, right? So based on the business criticality, we can try to use some options while trying to maintain this the whole infrastructure, guys. Okay. So we just want to replicate the data in a different regions and different countries, so that even if you lost the data from one specific region, we can still have an option to get the data from another regions as well, guys. Okay. So that is the beauty of security with respect to cloud, guys. Okay. So when it comes to storage, we have many options and how you can try to secure your source data. I'll try to explain, guys, practically when I try to create a storage accounts in Microsoft Azure portal. Okay. So security standpoint, Microsoft can take in care everything, and it's more secure, and they'll keep your data protected and from natural disasters, even if there is anything. And with the multiple data centers and storage options, your data is stored at least 3 separate nodes, as I mentioned, and with the help of Microsoft Azure. Okay, and a partner, and you can define the backup schedule in terms of external frequency. Okay. And you can try to save the time. The number of hours spent configuring, planning, and installing the virtual machines is quite significant. Microsoft Azure only takes them within a few minutes. You can try to have everything set up in a virtual machine, guys. Okay, so I'll show you how you need to create within a few minutes virtual machine, and how you can try to create all self, like for example, self-hosted integration runtime agent. You want to connect to on-premises, right? We'll see practically more in depth on this, guys, so that you can have the complete picture on that. Okay. So currently, guys, almost $1 billion investment per year to protect from cyber threats from Microsoft Azure standpoint, and 95% Fortune 500 companies use Microsoft Azure. That is the huge number, and fastest growing cloud service provider and second largest market share in cloud market, guys. And we can start. I mean, Microsoft Azure. Basically, we can start with a free account and later we use a pay as you go model. Okay. So currently, guys, Microsoft Azure, they're offering 200 plus services. And for you to work on these services, they're offering $200 per month. Okay. So you can try to work, guys, and they're off. I mean, you can create a free account. I'll show you how you can try to create an account. Okay. So that you can try to practice in a day-to-day basis. Okay. So I'll explain tomorrow how you need to create a free account, guys, and so that you can have the complete picture on that. Okay. So I'll tell you guys how you can try to create a free account for you to practice, and how you can try to save the cost also. Okay. So in real time, once you join, guys, not only to improve the performance of your pipeline, maybe nobody knows, guys, whatever I'm going to share you over the classes, best performance optimization techniques in product. I'll share from product side, guys. Okay. Because I'm working in Microsoft as a lead data engineer, I'll share you that complete product experience, how best you need to optimize, how best you need to save the cost as well while explaining the pipelines. Okay. You need to get a complete picture on that, guys, so that even once you're working in a real time, you're far better than who is working in a real time right now with a huge experience, guys. Okay. That's how you can gain the knowledge of the session, guys. While practicing, if you have any questions, you can always ask me. Okay. So we have basically, guys, Microsoft Azure. Maybe I worked on different clients. I work for Walmart, I work for Chevron, I work for Shell, right? There are different clients previously, guys, and each client, they used to organize their resources, right? They have different module. For example, if I can take a Chevron has some modules, okay? So some departments like supply and trading, sales and product management, logistics. They have HR, admin, they have different business function, and each business function we can try to create a separate subscriptions. Okay. How we can try to organize our resources in a real time also, I'll give the complete picture so that you can have the complete idea once you start working in a real time, guys. Okay. So over the session, this particular Microsoft Azure, under Microsoft Azure, we have a tenant or client. Maybe Chevron is a client, and Chevron has a different departments like a supply and trading, and each department, each business function, we have a separate subscription. Under the subscription, again, we used to categorize the resources and resource group. Okay. So what is resource group? What is subscription? What is resource, right? How you can try to organize your resources practically, I can show you in the next session, guys. And I'll also explain you how you can try to create a free account for you to practice in a day-to-day basis. Okay. Any questions, guys, till now?
No questions. So far, it's good.
Okay.
So we have to go in detail.
Yeah. So I want to explain one more thing, guys. This course is no, I mean, you can take and help from till you get the job, guys. Okay. So I'll try to explain about your profiles. Okay. How you can try to keep experience in the data engineering field, how the roles and responsibilities, and how you can try to get a calls, right? So many people resumes, they don't know how the roles and responsibilities they can try to keep in resume, and they cannot. Most of the people I have seen, guys, resume is not good. Okay. That's the reason they'll not get more calls, and even US and UK have seen that. I'll try to explain what are all the roles and responsibilities, what are all the keywords you need to mention or the resume, and I'll try to explain each and everything so that you can try to keep maybe in a Dice, LinkedIn, or Naukri, wherever you are. You can try to keep updating in your portal so that you can get plenty of calls, because I have this experience from past almost 6 years, guys. Resume building, everything I'll explain. Okay. So that you can try to keep updating in your portal. You get plenty of calls, believe me, guys. Okay. And anything you want to discuss, guys, if you want to have any personal things and you want to discuss with me, you can always reach out my number. I have shared my number as well. Okay.
How's the job market now, Suresh?
We have now? Yeah, we have many opportunities, guys, especially in a data engineering field. Okay. you can see because I used to do some calls taken care daily basis. Okay, we have an opportunities in the data engineering field. I don't know in the remaining streams because when I spoke to my colleagues and all, we have a less opportunities. But data engineering market is good right now. Any other?
Because I know before till 22, the market was so good. Even the package they really offered well. Now, because how much is there, probably because I'm not sure.
That is, I mean, even now started many, we have many opportunities in data engineering field. Okay. So 2023, we have a less openings and now we have many openings in data engineering. Okay. So market is growing right now in data engineering. We have many opportunities because I used
even
to
the pay
take a lot
scale
of.
was really good till 22, I believe.
Yeah. Sorry, come again.
Till 22, the pay scale was really good. The offered
That's
package
true.
was
That's
offered.
true. That's true. I mean, in COVID, guys, we have a plenty of opportunities, guys. We have plenty of opportunities. Even whatever you can expect, like they tried offered, and we have many opportunities in during COVID time. But later 2023, we have a less opportunities. But now the market is started again, and we have many opportunities in data engineering. And wherever you are, whatever the field you are working, whatever the technology you are working, and now cloud is market, guys. Okay, so we have many opportunities. You can try to keep update your profile. It will try to add a weightage to your profile. Maybe you have a 15 years, you have a 13 years, or whatever experience you have. If you can try to keep cloud experience, you can get a calls definitely. Yeah, awesome. Any other questions, guys? So you can always reach out to me, guys, personally. If you have any questions, you want to discuss anything, I'll always be there and to help you guys. Okay. So thank you all, guys, for joining this session. And if you have any doubts or anything you want to discuss, you always reach out to me. Okay. Next session, I'll update, guys. Okay. Next session, I'll update, or the group. I think everybody is a part of a group right now. And whoever is not part of the group, and you can try to reach out to me directly. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining the session, guys, and have a great weekend for everyone.
Yep. Thank you, Suresh.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Suresh.